Aloha. Let's get it started. Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Let's Get Live. I am that dude, Doc Rock, and we're just going to get it popping. Today is the day. It's another one. So like DJ Khaled. Another one. First of all, if you are out there, tell us where you are watching from. Type, aloha, hello, what's up, sup, fool, whatever you want into the chat. Let me know that the streams are working. My headphone is hot. Why is my headphone hot? I don't need to hear myself that loud. Anyway, so yes, if you are watching and you got something to say, just pop it in the chat. We're going to answer questions today. I'm going to talk to you about a few things. And if you have a question and you want to make sure that I see it, drop a Q or a question in front of it so I know what's what. At the moment, I can't see if comments are working. So let me just double check, make sure everything is doing what it's supposed to do. Alrighty, that's weird. It says there was an error loading the comments. Oh, this fitting to be a long day. There was an error loading the comments. Wow. Alrighty, so when this happens, all right, there we go. There we go. One just came in. Bruh, I'm gonna try to do this. Wadadli soldier. Wadadli soldier. I'm gonna try it, just mess it up. It's okay. If I said it wrong, you can shoot me. Love God FM, good to see you in the building. Yeah, for the guys that didn't come Saturday, you're gonna know my sound has changed just a little bit, child. Very good. Oh, it's Brian. All right, then I understand what I said. Yes, my sound has changed just a little bit, y'all. Let me show you what happened in the ear. We're gonna turn. This is iPhone 11 Pro Max. I got the NDI X Capture. I'm gonna turn that on Start Broadcast, and then in just a second, it should pop up on my thing. Oh, VA in the building. Yo, my family is from Crystal City originally, and my sister lives in Hampton. I got other family in Richmond. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time. I used to go to the KFC when Chris Brown worked in Tappahannock. Dude used to work at the KFC window. Most people don't know that. Dude used to sling chicken in Tappahannock, Virginia. He said it once in the song. I don't think people really knew that was a real spot. Anyway, so let me tap on this real quick. Oh, man, something about the Filmic Pro and the iPhone, it do come in hot every time. All right, let me hit this real quick just so y'all can see. Yeah, so I have updated the sound situation. I have the Rodecaster Pro. My fam over at Ecamm was like, dude, your streams are dope. You sound like crap. Let's fix it. So, no, actually, we get a lot of support questions about the Rodecaster Pro. So, yeah, they sliced me up with a Rodecaster Pro so that I can dig in and do things and try to show you guys what's up. And so now we got, cool sounds like when I say something magical, I could just... Those are corny. I'm going to add my own sounds. I haven't done so yet, but I did a couple of 2-3 things here. Like I added this. Wait, I guess you got to hit it. Hey, that's weird. I thought if you tap on the screen to the second bang, it would fire, but I guess not. It must be something that I have to do over here, which I didn't do yet. So anyway, let's stop messing with that and do what we're supposed to do. We're here to talk about streaming and setting your game up. Things like that. So normally, I've changed my situation a little bit. In the very beginning, what I like to do is I like to hit you with a mindset thing first, because it turns out like I watch everybody's streams. Like a lot of people don't know that. Like I see you cats come on my thing, and then I go back and I see if you're streaming. I watch your streams, see what you're doing, see what kind of work you're putting in. See what we can do to get you better, because, I mean, there's a lot of people out here teaching the stream game now, and I teach a little different. I might be, that's going to be sound super funny saying this out loud, but in my head, this is what I think. I think I'm like that one cool science teacher that used to have all of the crazy experiments and stuff, and everybody got along with, thought he was cool. But then because he was cool, sometimes his students would slack, you know what I mean? And then you got the other teachers that are very like straight line, blah, blah, blah. They're going to give you your answers and they're going to give you your grade and they're going to send you on your way. But I want all of my people, like the Let's Get Live crew, I want you guys to level up. Like, I don't want you to just stay right here. Like, anybody can do that. Anybody can buy some basic equipment, pop the stream on and go. I actually see people in the community that have like literally some of the best equipment you can find. Like, they literally went down B&H and was like, yo, I'm baller. I got cash. Let me buy all of this great stuff. And then they're either not putting out streams on a regular basis, they're not actually putting in the work, or they're still busy complaining about the gear because it's not perfect as they want it to be. Yeah, that doesn't ride with me. Like, you have got to get out and do it. Like, you cannot be a basketball player unless you pick up the ball and throw it at that little orange ring against that piece of glass, or from my hood, that piece of plywood with no strings. But you got to throw the ball, son. You got to get out there and you got to do it, right? So, like, I want everybody to do it, even if you have to start with an iPhone. You just watch me do it. I use my iPhone to this. I didn't even wire it, but with Ecamm, which is what I use to do my streams, you know, I'm calling you out, Marcus. I am 108% calling you out. Literally, all you have to do to stream is take this cable and this phone and do this. And with Ecamm, you're done. You're absolutely done. You're ready to go. You can stream from your phone with this. I'm not going to hold it the whole time. I'd get a tripod. But if you don't have a tripod, a stack of books, some pots and pans, a pan handle, something. Like, there is a way for you to get it started. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely got to send a shout out to my buddy Marcus here. What's up, Marcus? I haven't done any crimes lately, so I don't need my attorney today. But I love you. I didn't mean it when I said crimes lately. Allegedly. Sorry, Marcus, you didn't teach me well enough to remember to say allegedly. Gotta say what's up to my boy Charles in the house. YouTube Verks in the building. Good to see you. And Brandy, Rippy Doo Pup in the building. How you doing, Brands? One of my longest friends in Hawaii. Love you to death, Ma. Good to see you here. So, yeah, before we kick into the rest of the stream, honestly, just, never mind chasing equipment and all of that. Don't let perfection be the corruption of getting your stuff done. You just got to get it started. I saw a really good video yesterday, and if I remember, I will post the link in the description. But the dude was talking about, like, he was using me telling you get started some way, shape, or form. You just got to jump in there and get started. He was using the analogy of pushing the car. There's two types of people, right? Something happens to your car. You're like a half a mile away from the gas station and you run out of gas. Some people will sit there and with their phone and they'll call a tow truck, or they'll sit there and wait, and, tow truck could take hour, 45 minutes, whatever. The other people will get out the car, open the driver's door, take this shoulder, put it into the A-frame, and just start pushing. And here's what's really going to happen. Like, this is a true story. Anybody that's hood ever ran out of gas, this has happened. If you sit there and wait, you're just going to sit there and wait. But if you get out and you open the door and you pop a shoulder into the A-frame and you start pushing, number one, you'll find out the first, 100 feet, that's going to suck. After that 100 feet, the car starts rolling. Actually, it might get to the point where you have a hard time keeping up. You got to pull it back. But the other thing that happens is people show up and be like, hey, bro, you need some help. That's Hawaii accent. For those who don't know, they're going to park their little Tacoma 2003 lifted, brand new on the side. They're going to jump out. Somebody going to get on the trunk. Somebody going to get on the other trunk. Somebody's going to grab the other door. And between the four of y'all got that handle, seconds, right? And then you're going. But if you're just sitting in your car waiting for something to happen, bruh, no one even knows why you're sitting there. They're like, why is this dummy sitting on the side of the road? So it doesn't, get going. So it's just, literally the same kind of mentality. Like, you have got to get it started. And what happens when you get started, people start saying, hey, you know what? I can help you. Here's what you need. Hey, you know what? I can help you. Here's what you need. So you got to go. You just got to go. And then I'm going to answer some questions real quick, and then we're going to get it started. Because I see one of the most common questions that comes up over and over again. And so this is from my boy Tim. What's up, Tim? And then, of course, Marcus, how you do? So Tim is Team 180. Love God FM says I bought a 2019 MacBook Pro 16 3 months ago. And when I'm using it, it started working fine without any noise. When I start using Ecamm, yeah, that's normal. Absolutely normal. If you got out in the street right now and you ran to the end of the block and ran back, when you come back, you're going to be like, and your heart start pumping and you start thinking your lies and you say that you already ate. And then your friend says, man, there's plenty of food. So you pile some more on you. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Yeah, your MacBook fans are supposed to come on when you throw live streaming at it. Okay. Writing a file in a word processor is your Mac lifting this. Live streaming is your Mac 300 pounds, 2 dudes on each side, pump your chest. Okay, ready? That's what live streaming is to your Mac. So if your fans come on, it's supposed to come on. If your fans don't come on, you have a problem. MacBook catch fire, warranty over, Apple pissed, problem. So yes, it's supposed to do that. And it doesn't matter if it's Ecamm or OBS or anything else. Every streaming program in the planet will flex your Mac and turn on the fans. Two of the biggest generators of heat, high CPU use, high graphics processor use. Streaming, let's think about it. CPU, that's the thing that does the processing, and graphics processor. Because you are running a high definition video all the time for an hour. Yes, it's supposed to get hot. It is what it is. If you do not wish that to happen, you get an iMac. They are the exact same processor. And for the most part, almost the exact same graphics card. But one is contained in a little thing, roughly about, I don't even have something here, roughly about X big. And the other one's contained in 27 inches, so the heat disperses better. And it's a full aluminum back, much more giant, heat disperses better. Fans on the iMac barely come on, but they do. But if fan noise is what you're worried about, you can easily solve that with a pod mic or a lapel mic or a wireless mic where you can separate yourself from the MacBook. Like if I was going to stream from a MacBook, my MacBook would literally be across the room. And the camera's here, long HDMI cable, long audio cable, mixer in front of me, Bluetooth keyboard in front of me, monitor in front of me, but you could just move the computer. Like the computer doesn't have to sit in front of you because you barely need to touch it. And if you do need to touch it, use a Bluetooth keyboard. You can put the computer in a whole separate room. Bluetooth will reach. Monitor cables are long enough nowadays. Like there's no reason for it to sit in front of you and you just need a second monitor. So yeah, like if you're stuck with a MacBook because you needed portability, because you have to bounce from church to church to church, there's things that you can do. Like we've done it in the past. It's called clamshell mode. That's the screen closed, keyboard and mouse connected, and the extra display. Clamshell mode. Google it. Problem solved. But your Mac's not going to blow up. Those fans are on purpose. That's a thing. YouTube Verks, my day is going good. I really appreciate you for doing that. And I got to say, I love the icon because, purple is my swag right now. So I absolutely did. Yours is a little magenta, but hey, she go. Yeah, my brother said the same thing I said. You should be absolutely worried if your fans don't kick in. Whenever I live streams, they come, then leave. Why? You mean the viewers? Say that further. Replicate that and see if I can do it. Brandy, stop distracting me. I love you. Aiden went upside down in the live stream today after I went upside down in group chats. Tim, you are creating a trend. When you guys start seeing the whole rest of the world doing upside down streams, you're going to know absolutely that it's Tim's fault because he started it. No, it's fine. If you're on a PS4 and you're using a game capture device, that's absolutely fine. So I'm assuming that you're game streaming because you're doing PS4. Honestly, as much as I know about streaming, when I play my games, I say too many bad words to stream with them. So I normally don't. And I only play like Madden and FIFA and the occasional The Division and Call of Duty. Call of Duty, I get irritated at some of the things that people say, little kids saying stuff that they probably don't even realize how bad it is what they're saying. So I can't deal with it. It makes me want to smack a little kid. So I don't play those games much longer. But FIFA and Madden I play all the time. So yeah, I don't understand why kids think it's cool to be like ridiculously mean. Not a little bit mean, like whatever. And I got thick skin. I'm a soldier. Like I've been shot at. So calling me names isn't the problem. It's just the concept that somebody would teach that to a little kid and that little kid somehow think that makes them cool for just saying dumb stuff on the stream. Like it's ignorant. And yeah, there's a lot of reasons why that happens, but we won't talk about that today. My brother says, dude, you got to make your comments shorter. No, I'm joking. Live streaming compared to most of the tasks your computer does constant. When you stream for an hour, the CPU and GPU, as well as the RAM, drive, and screen, are working for the entire hour. That is absolutely correct. That is 100% perfect. Sorry, June. Yes, so, yeah, you got to imagine most things you do in your computer. Actually, when I used to teach computers, when I used to teach at CompUSA, and I used to explain to people what the original hyperthreading was, you got to imagine like a cup, right? Your processor, the Intel processors do something which is kind of unique that didn't happen. Now it's very normal, so it's kind of a weird explanation. But back in the day, older processors used to fill up the cups and then had to wait till those cups are empty to fill up the next set of cups. So if you had 10 cups, I got 10 core processor. Original processors, you would have a 10 core, you fill up all the 10, those 10 would have to completely empty before the next 10 could come. Apple brought to the game the ability to backfill those cups. So it was moving like a fire truck. I mean, the fire brigade. You know that game when you're a little kid? And then so we got this threading process where now the processor can just constantly flow. But again, most programs, it'll run the processor for a little bit. The processor will sit and it's just sitting there picking his teeth going, what else you got for me? And then the next would come and the next would come. But when you're streaming, literally, you're just throwing like fire hose at the processor, fire hose at the graphics card, fire hose at the RAM, especially when I'm bringing overlays in and out like this. Every time I do that, I'm throwing something to the RAM and to the graphics card. And if I bring an overlay that's stored on my machine, the hard drive has to pull that. Now, Ecamm does load certain things in the RAM, but not everything. So yes, you're constantly telling your machine, hey. So it starts to be like, leave me alone. And that's when the fans come on. There you go. Good analogy, June. Actually, I don't know. I never streamed from a PS4. I am Team Green, Xbox all the way. I haven't owned the PS since the 3. Okay, I take it back. I haven't owned the PS since the 3. June, did you get a PS4? That's what my brother questioned. Stupid. Wow, there you go. Tim says, CompUSA, I brought a Mac at Connecticut CompUSA years ago. Yeah, it used to be literally right across the street from my house. So it was crazy. I used to be there all the time. Like literally that was our lunch break. When we leave the store, my brother and I would go to CompUSA and look at weird stuff. And we were talking about this the other day. We would buy tons of blank CDs because when blank CDs got down to like $10 a piece, we were like, oh, these are cheap. And then they eventually became like 100 for $10. And then all bets were off. Everything was about making custom CDs for the car. It's so weird. So, yes, the quality definitely makes a difference. Yes and no. This is a weird conversation, but I like to have it. I will always try to come in at 1080. Like I had to make myself stop streaming in 4K, even though I really want to, just because YouTube latency and the way that I could get to your comments quicker. Excuse me. If I stream at 1080, I can get to your comments quicker. If I stream in 4K, then it takes longer for those comments to show up, and it's a little bit less interactive because of the type of show that I'm doing right now, which is very dependent on your guys' question. Then I had to get off my high horse and bring it back down to 1080. It's just one of the weird ways that YouTube works. And hopefully that will go away, because again, I prefer to constantly stream in 4K because the repurpose capability of that is better. Now, that being said, if your internet is struggling, your streams are quitting, and you're getting errors, you got to step down to 720. And as far as the quality goes, if you are like epic gamer and you're really, really good at it, and you're teaching people tricks that they can use to become better gamers, then you can stream at 720. Heck, you can stream at 540 because you're giving value. If you're just like, hey, come watch me play, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, everybody's doing the same thing. And this is the number one thing I see when I watch gamer streams, that gamers have to realize. If you're just playing and you're not explaining to the people who are watching, not necessarily your competitions, how they can gain something from watching, there's only so much you can watch, right? If you watch sports, any sport, regular sport, and you watch the real good broadcasters, you go down the list of some of the best. They aren't just giving you the play-by-play. Play-by-play at the end of the day would be straight boring. The industry is actually called sports entertainment now. No one just says David Ortiz has popped up to the bat and, okay, he swing. Holy God, look at that home run over the park at Fenway. It is out there by the sandwich shop. I'm Red Sox Nation, but that would be boring. They tell you things about David. They tell you about, his history, his life. They tell you how he's been playing in comparison to other games. They tell you that he's changed his technique. They tell you that he switched up his bat. They tell you that, he just donated, a whole bunch of money to a charity in his homeland. They tell you various things, They talk about the history. They talk about the pictures. Like, they add something else to this. If they was just straight play-by-play, the pitcher grabs the ball. He spit in his glove. He scratched his squibbles. That's, no one's going to watch that. It's called sports entertainment now. They very much are telling you things, like they're explaining things and letting you know, hey, if you're a little kid and you're a batter, notice the way he chokes the bat just a little bit. He doesn't need to choke it, but by choking it, he can gain a little bit more bat speed, and that's probably where he gets his power from. Like, they get in there. You know what I mean? And the little kids that are watching will go and start trying to emulate Poppy, right? Or Kobe or whatever. Like, they'll say, notice Kobe's release, the way he flicks his wrist. They would explain these things. So if you're going to do gaming streams and you're explaining, hey, if you're over here, make sure you get in the crouch. If you don't get in the crouch and crawl back 3 taps on the stick, you are exposed. It might not look exposed on the screen, but it's a glitch in the game, and that's going to get you headshot. So when you crouch in this spot, tap back 3 so you're out of the way, and then you use the peek and shoot when you peek. And then people are like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Now they're watching. Now you're adding value. But just play, watch me play, nobody cares. Just remember that. You must bring value. Always. Every stream, you must bring value. I don't know if you get value out of what I'm saying, but I try to bring value. If I don't, you guys probably wouldn't be here every Tuesday, Saturday. Okay. Generally speaking, native is better. Native resolution requires less processing on the fly. So, yes, that's a very good point. So, for instance, in my camera right now, I have my camera set for the exact same resolution as I have Ecamm set for the exact same resolution that I am asking YouTube to set. That way, nobody has to convert anything. So, I am sending a 1080 24 frames per second feed to Ecamm, and then the Ecamm is spitting out a 1080 24 frame. And you know what? I forgot about this. The other day, I was just doing something, and I posted the scene, and somebody, I won't mention any names, June, downloaded the video or whatever, and he goes, why does it say 1080 50? Why are you sending 50? You only need to send 24, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, shut up. And then I fixed it. I don't like telling him he's right. It's irritating. And then he said, that's aimbot. That's funny. K-Walk Comedy. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Love to have you here. Man, you were asking some question the other day, and then I answered you, and I forgot what it was. But I was like, oh, if you come, I can give you the better explanation. And I don't remember because it was Friday. And then after that, I went to my mailbox right after we were done, and I opened this roadcaster that they sent me, and I was like, ah! And I just lost my stuff. So, yes. Yeah, I mean, you got to. So, here's the thing. Check your analytics. Is this technique working? Is it holding your audience? Are your stream views sticking? What time do people camp out? Like, there's a lot to this. And an application like TubeBuddy will help you. I told myself today, remember to make the frame, but I didn't make the frame because I always forget to make the frame. Why am I dumb? Let me do this real quick. Copy that. Anyway, so yes, an application like TubeBuddy will help you learn what techniques that you can do, what things that you can add, what changes you need to make in order to get people to stay where they are. If you notice the greats or you watch the greats, they all have a je ne sais quoi. What's the word I'm looking for? They all have these like verbal techniques that they use to draw somebody back in. Nick Nimmin is very good at this. He does a little thing where he will be like, and if you stick around later, I'm going to show you how to do X. That's a way to keep people stuck, you know. I'm going to show you these things in this order, but the big reveal is going to come at the end. So make sure you watch all the way through. I just figured out the number one secret that can make you $1 million in 15 minutes. If you stick around to the end, I'll tell you that. And then he can stream 3 hours, bro. Some people are going to sit there and wait because they want to know what that secret is, especially if you actually give the secret. If you make people wait that long and then what you give them sucks, they will never wait that long again. So you got to think about that. Like, holding an audience is a thing, bro. Like, it's really hard to describe it. It's really hard to explain it. But as an MC, I was really good at that. You know, when we had a technical problem or an error, because I was a freestyle person, I could just go freestyle and I get the audience to make a beat for me with, you know, their hands and stomping. And then I would freestyle until the sound man fixed the audio. Whereas DJs that couldn't do that would just have everybody standing there going, ooh, you suck, is what it is. So, like, it's something that you have to learn to do. You have to find a way to sort of keep people in connected. K-Walk, let me know if you figured out what it was I was supposed to tell you today, because I forgot. So I as you guys know, I did talk about my my audio setup. I got my Rodecaster in play. I'm assuming it sounds better. I don't know if the stream is doing what the heck it's supposed to do, because it always sends me weird information when it's not supposed to. And yeah, Brands, you're correct. Improv helps, bro. If you're trying to like step your game up, going to improv or taking improv classes or learning improv technique, even if you have to learn it online because you can't get out the house, like very, very, very helpful. Let me check Facebook for a second. I think it's working because my brother did comment you need an iPhone regardless. But let me just double check Facebook because, again, the stream's being weird today. I don't know why. Oh, why the stream's so weird. But if anything, it's good because it's proving my fact that I'm going to stop streaming to Facebook at some. Do not automatically play audio, Facebook. You suck. Oh, Tim's on Facebook. So I know Tim's always here. Facebook, are you alive? Okay, let's see. Yes, it works. All right, just want to check because sometimes with using the beta, the comments can get let go and do weird oriented things. And, you know, weird oriented things is not something that we want. It's Spooktober. Anyway, so yes, TubeBuddy is a fantastic way for you to figure out like what's working, right? It's really an analytics tool, but there's a lot more than that. It's just the biggest time saver ever. I haven't checked my situation in a while, but they actually tell you how much time you have saved that month by using TubeBuddy as opposed to doing everything the hard way with YouTube. So it's a very handy tool. One of the things that I like to use it for is when you go in and you want to replace a bunch of text on your, what's the word I'm looking for? If you made a bunch of descriptions and whatnot, and you needed to go and replace a bunch of text because a link changed, you could do that in a single button click, as opposed to the old school method of you having to basically sit there and do each one over and over and over and over again. And like for me, 351 videos, if I had to change the description on 351 videos, and that's not including the live streams, I probably have another 50 live streams, so about 400 videos. If I needed to change a link, bruh, I would be there for weeks. But in TubeBuddy, I can literally do it in probably like 10, 15 minutes. So it's good for stuff like that. I mostly use it for A/B testing. Like I want to show a thumbnail and I want to see how well that thumbnail is working against maybe another thumbnail. I can actually put both thumbnails together and get I guess, sort of an idea of which one is causing more people to click. So it says my savings calculator, if I put in my standard rate of $150 an hour, it says using TubeBuddy, I have saved 12,633 hours. So TubeBuddy has saved me $1.89 million in time. Okay, so if I put that to a normal person and say put them at $15 an hour, Bernie Sanders rate, it's still $189,495. So yeah, you should probably get TubeBuddy, even if you have to get the free one, because it will help you, especially when you're trying to figure out, as a new channel or a burgeoning channel or just a channel that's trying to grow, like what you can change. True story. I've been on the game for a long time. I was stuck at about 2,500 subscribers almost exactly a year and a month ago. I went to TubeBuddy. I found out what clicks I was leaving on the table. That's hard to explain, but a lot of people will post videos and me and not fill out the description because, well, I don't read the description, so nobody reads the descriptions. Wrong. It's not about whether you read them or anybody. No human ever has to read the description. But the search engine reads the description because YouTube's the second largest search engine in the planet. So by filling out the description and putting in all the proper information, you're letting the robots do their job and read and recommend you to the right people. So by filling out that description, and that's like, I'm going to do a stream about comedy or improv comedy or something of that nature, I am then able to sort of invite people who like that sort of thing to my stream, because the recommendation engine will tell them, oh, you should probably watch this guy. He's talking about something that you're interested in. And when you don't do the descriptions, that never happens. So you don't get views, right? I had a video that's, I will say, is relatively viral. I hate that word with such a passion, but I'll explain it. I have a video that has about 750,000 views, and it was really just about changing a hard drive in a MacBook to an SSD. And where I screwed up is when I got my traffic for that video, I did not immediately maximize or double down on what I was doing. I was too busy just watching the number because I didn't really understand how all of this worked at that time. So what happened on that video is that a famous musician was getting ready to do a show, and their computer wigged out. And then when their computer wigged out, they had like literally minutes to get it popping. And then once I'm sorry, I'm checking the stream. They basically had minutes to get it popping, and they used my video to fix their computer so they could continue to do their show. And once that happened, they posted it on their page or maybe a TikTok or something that explained it. I forget how it went. That was not TikTok, sorry, Instagram. And all of a sudden, that video went from like 20,000 views to 300,000 views in like a day. And I wasn't ready. I didn't have any content to like double it down or do anything like that. And yeah, let me, I have to show this. Eric is confusing. Eric is confusing the YouTube algorithm because he decided to type in German and YouTube is like, Doc don't speak German. But I'll find out in a second. Here, let me fill the water and see if it's popping. Alrighty. We got sounds. It's really weird. I told YouTube to let Eric's comment through, but it didn't come through. That is so weird. Anyway, Eric is asking me weird questions in German. Don't confuse the stream, Eric. But yeah, I don't know. YouTube is bugging. Like I'm watching the comments happen and they're not coming through, but I can see you guys there. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, you should learn how to actually type. Okay, there we go. There it goes. It's working. So that's super funny. So Charles said he got that SSD about the video and the one about cigars. My recommendation last week under people who watch Doc Rock also watch this. See, the algorithm is crazy. Like it's super interesting. And now, Charles, you bring me to my next point. When I started, I thought no matter what, I could bump the system. I do not have to listen to YouTube, excuse me, and the Nick Nimmons and the Owen videos of the world. I do not need to niche. I can make cool videos. But because I can make cool videos, I don't have to niche, right? I live in Hawaii. I can do some really cool stuff. I just throw videos and people are going to watch it. Wrong. Like, absolutely wrong. When I decided to niche for you people that insist on saying it that way, it really doesn't matter. Niche. No, actually, I want to know which way do you prefer? Because, and how can we do this? Type red for niche and blue for niche because you wouldn't be able to type it and understand which is which. Anyway, when I decided to just talk about YouTube growth and streaming, literally in the last year, I went from around 25,000 subscribers to over 5,000. Like, in every single stream. And K-Walk Comedy can explain this when, I forgot which one I said. Niche. Okay, blue is niche. Okay, red is niche. Blue, niche, red, niche. Niche like in quiche is what I tend to say. And niche like in dog that's not male. Okay, so it's really crazy. Like I refuse to sort of follow that thing. And I just thought I would buck it. I thought I was going to be the one to show that the system could be bucked and I would get marginal success. And nah, bruh, seriously, YouTube knows what it's doing and people know what they want. And when you start to follow a type of thing and you stick to that, you'll be fine. That doesn't mean you can't deviate every once in a while because if something comes up, but you must explain to your people. And I saw people doing that. I said, that's weird. Like, why does anybody care? You're like, oh, I don't normally make videos like this one, but I'm going to make it. But don't worry, the regular stuff is going to be back. I thought they were tripping. I was like, bro, you don't need to say that. Just do your thing. Like, it sounds like you're, what's the word? Buffering or hedging? I don't have an answer. Hedging. No one's talking to you, Siri. No, I wasn't talking with you. I'm not sure I understand. I didn't say nothing, Siri. Siri's possessed. She's saying weird stuff. But yeah, so yes, as soon as you pick your thing and like stick to it. In the beginning though, if you're under 1,000 folks, bruh, test until you find the one you want. Vigette, Eric, good to see you here. That's good. Yes. it's Swiss German. Actually, my friend Patrice, same thing, always says the same things to me, and I should remember that, but I'm dumb. Okay, red, but I like to say netcast and GIF for GIF. Nope, it's GIF, like present. GIF is peanut butter. I guess it depends on like what you grew up as your favorite thing. Like to me, GIF was my peanut butter. I wasn't a Skippy kind of dude. It was always about the GIF. Them jets right there. Okay, so it was something else important that I wanted to explain you guys today. What was it? See, I had it and I wrote it down in the notebooks upstairs. Yuck, 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 yuck. Oh, I know what I want to talk to you about. So, as you guys know, the iPhone 12s are hitting the books. Most people will be getting theirs on Friday. And then the Pros, well, there's the 12 and the 12 Pro are going to be available on Friday. If you've pre-ordered it, you will get those. If you are getting a Mini or a Pro Max, you're going to have to wait until the end of the first week of November to get those in situation. But that is going to bring a lot to the table for the stream game. Like a lot. Hold on, let me see what he says. Eric says, I have noticed that YouTube has a limit of 100 video uploads. Below 100, you grow slowly. Then from 100, the growth is very big. Yeah, I got to say, that's probably about right. When I decided I wanted to do this, I was like, I got to get to that first 100. And yeah, I'm going to say you're kind of correct. Eileen, what's up, man? Good to see you here. I'm going to officially call Eileen my cousin because that's what we do in Hawaii. We just randomly cousin people. And I'm going to call Eileen my cousin because she's a Smith. And so she's badass. So there you go. So yeah, Eric, I think you're right about that. I think that first 100 threshold does. Okay, in my opinion, back then, I thought it was, this is letting YouTube know that you're serious. So because you're serious, they're going to give you a little bit of extra love. I can't say that algorithmically that's true, but algorithmically, I mean, you're German, so let's do the math. With that much more data, which one is it? With that much more data, the algorithm can recommend you better because they have enough stuff to recommend you for, right? Like, what does the dishwasher do? When the thing says to you, here's a guy from Hawaii, middle age, loves to travel, loves to eat whiskey, tea, like Japanese stuff, creates videos about tech, likes the color purple, loves Sony gear, like whatever. They start lining you up and recommending you for what? So like Charles, I was getting ready to call him Chuck because I called my other friend Charles Chuck. Like Charles said, he got a recommendation for some of my older videos because it notices that he was coming weekly to the streams. So it goes, other people that watch Doc Rock watch X. It will not be uncommon or unlikely that if you keep watching my streams or you keep watching Eileen's streams, because we do have crossover, you might see something that says people that watch Eileen Smith watch this, and you might run into one of my videos. It's very possible. Right now, my number one source of crossover traffic is coming from Nick Niven. That is a win, son. I don't know how the algorithm did it. I didn't try to do anything. I didn't tweak anything. I absolutely love Nick. But for whatever reason, because we're bald guys with beard and glasses, everyone, like YouTube is literally sending me people from Nick's channel. And that, my friends, is a win for me because Nick has 700,000 folk. 700. That's almost 750,000. He's like 30,000 away from 750,000. And why I just went to teenage voice, I don't know. But having YouTube give me the honor of thinking like, yo, I'm like Nick, yo, I'll take it, son. I'll absolutely take it. Yes, K-Walk Comedy, I know. She is a rock star. That is my buddy. She is so funny. She cracks me up. And again, how I ended up just falling in love with her is she absolutely reminds me of one of my cousins who's no longer with us, but completely reminds me of her. Her look, her sound, her demeanor, her just everything is like 100% the same. So I just fell in love with, like, watching her would remind me of my cousin who I grew up with, who used to like slap me around and take care of me and keep me out of trouble. So although I am older than Miss D, like watching Miss D just reminds me of my cousin. So I always watch it, and she is the best. She's her demeanor, her kindness, all of that just really shines through. And literally, I think from watching Eileen and watching her was about when I said, you know what, I got to go back to streaming, like, because I'm the editing guy that would sit there and tweak on my edits forever, and it was slowing me down. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I know I need to get this content out. My channel is growing. My numbers are doing good. I got to create more content. But thanks to my dad and my brother, I'm somewhat of a perfectionist when it comes to editing. So, like, I would post a video in the middle of the upload. I'd be watching it like 6 more times. Like, no, take it back down. I got to color grade it. And so, like, I was shooting myself in the foot, right? I actually did a video where I was just trying to show off like the technical side of color grading, and bruh, it was straight crickets. Like nobody watched it. And I'm like, son, I just gave you the secret to how to color grade like a world-class color grader, and nobody watched it because nobody cares. That wasn't what they wanted to see. So yeah, I had to do that. B, the answer to your question is no. You only need to have 1,000 peoples and 4,000 watch hours. And as you can see, Eileen said that. And Brands, you should definitely do a channel. I've known you for how many plus years? I'm not going to say because then we'll just brand us both as old. But there's been decades with an S, with a capital S in parentheses. And we have seen each other at our worst. So, yeah, Brands, you, as funny as you are, you would be great to do a live stream or your videos, whatever. You just have a rocking personality. So, yeah, you'd be a good person to stream. You know, that's it. But don't tell any secrets of when we were kids. That I would shoot you for. Yes, K-Walk. Right after Diana Stream on Friday, I literally went to the mailbox, and the security guard was like, yo, we got a box for you. And I was like, I didn't order nothing from Jeff Bezos on Prime Day. Like, why? What kind of box is this? And there was this Rodecaster Pro sitting in my mailbox. And I was like, oh, my God. I just went absolutely crazy. And, yeah, so that's it. That's how that happened. Yeah, so Drew's correct. This is why having a hard deadline helps. Live broadcasts and print is good practice. You got to make it or lose it. Yeah, that's very, very true. So one of the cool things about live broadcasting is, number one, it's not going to stop me from making creative videos. That's never going to happen. Like, I'm going to make creative videos. But the cool part is the instant gratification, like being able to know that, you know, I can talk to KOL Comedy and help her through something that she was trying to learn, or be able to, you know, talk to Eileen because, you know, she has really cool stuff. And one thing Eileen's really good at, she's really good at curating what are the tools that are going to help you get somewhere. These tools are coming out. These tools are hot. These is rubbish, whatever. So you need that kind of like instant curation. Those are things that you can do in a live stream that you just can't do on a recorded video. And the other thing is there's a true connectivity. You know what I mean? Like, you build friends through this. I was with my buddy Lemuel yesterday, and he has his show, and he was like, bro, I'd love to have you come on the show. We became really good friends over basically being heavy twinkerers, heavy tinkerers, aka tweaker. I was mixing tweaker and tinkerer. We were twinkerers of Ecamm. Like, how can we make this thing do more than it's supposed to do? Because that's the type of person I am. My brother's like that. My dad's like that. Like, Sidetrack, funny story. Sidebar. I always got to give myself room for the sidebar. Back in the day, I was fixing PlayStations so that you could play. Right? So I used to solder in these little chip that would bypass certain things that would allow you to play games from Japan or Korea or wherever they came from. Hence buying all the CDs from CompUSA. I won't fully snitch on myself, but it is what it is. I was a little kid. And as I would solder those things in, and then I would give them back to people and it would totally work. So my friends was like, hey, I bought the parts. Can you do it for me? Because I don't know how to solder. So I used to do all this stuff. My dad, being my dad, and June would back me up. He'll come in, you're doing it wrong, move. So he was like, why are you using this solder? This is rubbish. Use silver solder. Silver solder is better conductor, blah, blah, blah. 3-hour lecture later, dad's soldering, PS1. Dad's soldering all of the stuff. And then when I go home to plug it up, the video quality was like way better. And I was like, yo, you could actually upgrade your stuff by changing these solder points on these particular points to silver solder, plus put in the special chip, and then your PlayStation could do whatever the heck you wanted it to do. And, that was incredible. So at that time, like being able to do stuff like that sort of taught me, the idea of why you need to tinker or twinker, as I call it, so you can make software do things it weren't supposed to do. So learning how to do a transition.
Unbelievable.
When Apple ProRes 4444 does not have audio, that just requires some twinkering. So I did it. And this is why you twinker. Anyway, meeting with Lemuel, turns out we're like really, really good friends. We have a lot of stuff in common. But anybody that knows me would crack up that this dude who's a minister is now one of my best friends. Because, yeah, I was most likely to go to prison. I'm joking. So Brandy says, I have a podcast. It's just sound, but I don't want to show my face on camera because then I got to brush my hair and draw my eyebrows. You're so mental, Brandy. K1 Company, really need to niche down. I do a channel for educational leaders, but I've been practicing by live streaming with my brothers on Saturday nights for a fun pop culture show. Yeah, get in where you fit in, start. You just start. We talked about it earlier. There you go. Thank you, K1 Comedy. Can't believe you didn't do that like 3 weeks ago. I'm joking. Absolutely joking. I really appreciate you. Yes, number one, all of the information you can feed to our educational leaders right now, paramount. Absolutely paramount. The other thing, something that I've been talking about for years, the disambiguated school is coming. Like the sort of Wikipedia style, but a little bit more accurate, if I could say so, that's coming. And the truth, of this is the old moniker that I've been using forever. I hear more and more people use University of YouTube. Now you run into something and you're not just sure like what's popping, like go to University of YouTube and you can find it. Like can I tell you guys a secret? Number one pet peeve in the world is quote unquote stupid people. I don't mean I just beeped my own phone like I lost it by accident. Okay, that was dumb. I don't mean like you have some sort of deformity which causes you to learn slower or whatever. That's different. That's not the same. But if you are a full brain power and you're still stupid, that's lazy because the information is out there. And yes, there's misinformation and other stuff, but again, there's enough of it out there for you to filter through what's real and what's not. Like, if you're not, even when you get something, to not question it and dig through it and see what's right, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you have no excuse at this point. So when you have people like K-Walk Company, there's another guy that's in our Ecamm group. His name is Al Carrington. Al is a guy in Australia who basically teaches teachers how to teach using technology and things like that. Like, these situations exist. And for the fact that you got grown folk out here that refuse to go educate themselves about something that will make their lives better, is mind blowing to me. Like, it's free now. Like, you can get full on college course level training, and Apple shuttered it because nobody was watching it. iTunes U ran for like 15 years. You could get a degree from Harvard for free on your phone, in your computer, and people didn't take advantage of it. So your Coursera's and your Great Learning Channel and your Masterclass and your YouTube, your Lindas, your Skillshares, your Thinkific, what's the other one? Brilliant. There's hundreds. The fact that you're not out here trying to like learn what you do better than what you do, even if it's quilting, knitting, drinking, video gaming, whatever. Like, if you wanted to go learn how to speak Swiss German, bro, you could go on YouTube and learn how to speak Swiss German. Like, it's no excuse whatsoever. So yes, K-Walk, you keep doing what you're doing. Any assistance you need, holla at your boy. I got you. I really appreciate anybody that's bringing stuff, especially if it has to do with like educating the educators so that they can become better educators. I know that came out crooked, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and the echoing problem, absolutely, I know how to fix it. I just had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I'll come back to that because that's actually a key one, and I hope somebody picks something up about that. Eric said in the beginning, I only made video for my clients. Views that not interest me. It's like I started a blog 15 years ago because I was too lazy to repeat myself all the time. Absolutely. Yes, that's one of the best things about blogging or videos or whatever, is it gives you the opportunity to like not have to repeat yourself. I saw something funny today. While I was setting up on Live Streaming Pros, David made an audio that says, the camera that I'm using right now is a Sony A6100. Because you get that question over and over again, what camera, what lens? And so he made an audio that you could just tap on the Rodecaster but instead of making it would say the camera. I was like, hey, I'm going to steal that idea, because I answered that question 3,000 times. I've been thinking about getting my podcast episodes in the video so they're not just sound waves. You know what? I'm going to come back to that because there's something I want to say to you about that. Eileen says, I just remembered that everything I learned, sometimes I need to watch my old video. Yeah, absolutely. 100% true about that. 100% true about that. I'm just reading. Eileen and Eric are having their own little conversation. No, Eileen, that was my watch. I guess I accidentally hit the crown, and then so in doing that, I accidentally turned on the part where it tells you about where to find your phone. Yeah, so there's that. Okay. Sorry, gang. My sinus is killing me. I'm going to have to blow my nose. So let me do this real quick. Do that. I like this Rodecaster Pro thing. You can do cool stuff like blow your nose in the middle of a stream. So, Brandy, I will help you with your echo problem, and K-Walk Comedy, I will help you with your echo problem right now. Let me explain to you sort of what this is. Couple things, two things I wanted to touch on. I want to touch on the echo problem, and then I want to touch on the podcast video problem. So, the way if you're using Ecamm, the way Ecamm works, if your Mac can make some noise, your Ecamm will warn you with yellow triangles, and then there's an echo cancellation situation. As long as you set the output of your Mac to not make any noise, like send it to an output that doesn't have speakers, or send it to an output that can't put out sound, you shouldn't have any problems. If the sound is looping back into your situation, your mic can hear your Mac, you're going to get that echo problem. So they do have a feature for echo cancellation because you have guests that insist on not wearing headphones, and then they have their speaker on because they want to hear how they sound, so to speak. So what Echo Cancellation does is it takes this waveform, and it flips it, and that cancels them out. Same way noise canceling works on your headphones. So there's situations where they're trying to help you and they're trying to fix that, but it's not a perfect science. So yeah, like when can possibly be avoided, avoid it. Now, as far as I'm gonna revisit this question, getting your podcast episodes into videos and not just sound waves. So a couple of things, K-Walk, you are new to here, so you haven't seen me speak on this before. There is a application known as Headliner. Copy that. And then let me turn this one off and then press this button right here and then paste that in and then strip off the HTTPS because it is too long. And then bam, bring this down here. Check this site out. This is Headliner app. It would allow you to take pieces and make little videos with sound waves and stuff like that that look really, really, really good. And you can use them to promote yourself on socials. Here's where the craziness comes in. This is always drive me batty. I can sit here right now today, and it's already been an hour. You guys have been with me with Eileen and Umi, where we go for like an hour and a half. You've been when I have my buddy Carry-On, and we're 2.5 hours later. In size, bruh, that is like almost 9 gigs of video. And the show with Carry, that was in 4K, so it's guaranteed 9 gigs of video. It posted to YouTube, no problem. To this day, posting audio podcasts, you have to pay a person to host it, which is cool. It's not a problem. I'm never hating on the business side of it, but there's no easy way right now to have a good functioning podcast without going to something like Podbean or what's the other one called? Blueberry or something like of that nature, where they actually host the thing for you and do all of the XML, the validation, and the things you need for you to be able to be found in iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, or as it says on my podcast, wherever the podcast getting is got. So, yeah, if you're going to get into the game, one of my favorites is Podbean. Let me pull that up real quick. Podbean is very helpful. It makes it sort of easy for you to do your thing. I think I sent this to Limwell yesterday. We was talking about that. Oh no, I sent it to my buddy Eddie. Limwell, I see you came. Good to see you, buddy. I was talking about you earlier. Yeah, so you will want to get a good podcast hosting situation. It is what it is. Like literally, that's the best way to do it. And yeah, once you have that part figured out, it's fine. But I do find it kind of crazy that you can do a video podcast for basically nothing, but to do an audio podcast, you have to still, to this very day, go through a situation like Podbean and set yourself up. I'm going to make a link for you guys real quick. I just have to do this rebranding thing, add a new link, hit that, and then do that. And then I can get I got a link, and then it's copied to the dashboard. Copy. And then I'll put that right here. Then you can see. So now, again, Headliner app is really good. Wait, you just messed that up, Doc Rocker. I'll just fix it here, and then I'll fix it there. Hold on, folks. I am such a weirdo. And take this stuff off. Bam, bam. And then, there we go. Okay, now we're good. Let me fix this before I forget. And then no, you can't get there. And edit. No. I want to edit the other one. Yeah, so this is a very, again, very easy type situation to use. And you'll find that all you do is upload your audio file, upload the image that goes with your audio file, and it's good to go. It comes with websites, like the whole 9 yards. So it's a pretty simple way to do it. And yes, take video clips, chop those up, use those on Instagram and YouTube in order to help promote it. And then next thing you know, your podcast is bumping. And again, my boy LA showed up. Let's see. Yeah, I was talking about you. I did host my own on WordPress for a minute, but then what happens once you get to a certain level, the amount of traffic that comes from downloading it all the time will not break your WordPress, but it would throw you into Eric's fighting English right now. It's okay, he's Esau. It will eventually start to tax your WordPress. And WordPress has gotten better, but when I first started, WordPress was slow. So that hosting on your own WordPress site is definitely a thing with Blueberry. But it can tax your WordPress site, and it can cause you to get crazy bills on these places that are $10 a month until you hit a certain point. And then when you hit that certain point, it jumps up to like 100. And so, like my buddy Mark Keith, he just got 25,000 downloads. 25,000 downloads on your own standard WordPress server for an hour and a half long show will become expensive real quick. So a podcast hoster like Libsyn or Podbean or whatever at $15 a month or $9 a month if you pay annually is cheaper in the long run. So that's why that's better. And also, most people don't know how to use WordPress well enough to do all of that stuff. So yeah. Let's see. Pastor Johnson, number one. Hello, Pastor Johnson. Always good to have you here. On the interview mode, names and title are not coming in evenly for the host and the guests. Has anyone else reported this issue? No, not that I know of. So you're saying the fly-in is going or instead of going evenly? I forgot. I think it might have to do with how fast they how long the name is. Yeah. It says, sorry, WordPress. Yeah. If you're having trouble with that, you should check your host in Dark Ages. Yeah. Again, I don't think it's a problem now, but that was the issue back then. And once I got Podbean, just compared to doing it the way I used to do it, I found it better. But yeah, I did make a new WordPress site, so I might try that. Again, a lot of the WordPress hosts now come with CDN, so these things should be better. Pastor Johnson, if you are having problem with labels, I would say please submit a ticket so that we can check to see what's going on with that. So far, I haven't run into that problem, but I did see yesterday when Lem and I were doing something, we did get the name stuck in the middle. So, but I think that was a frame of the video got stuck in the transition, not the actual title got stuck, but it went away like after he refreshed it. Also, if anybody was going to break it, the minister Lemuel would be the one to break it. Because he, like I said, we were tweakerers, or no, what was I saying? Twinkerers. Half tweaker, half tinkerer. Twinker. That's my new word. I'm going to have to buy that hashtag. TWINKERER. There you go. Hashtag twinkerer. That's my new, for the people that both tweak and tinker. Yes, that's what that is. Okay. That happened to us yesterday on the stream. So I think we were in a post-show kind of thing, so it never came out to the outside public. But it's like a frame in the video got stuck while it was doing the cross transition. So what I mean is when I go to do this.
Unbelievable.
There is a transition, a slight little transition that goes on. And the frame got stuck in between transitions. So when you did one with the guest and the name flies in, yeah, that definitely happened to our situation as we were doing it. But please submit a ticket so we can get that straightened out. All right, so it's Tuesday, and I have actual work to do. So unless you guys have any more questions, I think that's roughly round about it. Oh, no. One thing I want to bring up before we go. I spoke briefly about the new phones. For people that are like still on a situation where you're thinking about new camera and what you should get, if you are buying a new phone, like a new iPhone 12 or an iPhone 12 Pro Max, or even the brand new Samsung that just came out, hold off on camera for a second and just try that. The reason why I say is I think somewhere between Canon just dropped new cameras and Sony's versions of those will pop very soon. They're famous for dropping cameras in October. DJI just released a new Osmo Pocket 2 today. I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet to see if it is coming with HDMI out yet, because that will be absolutely key. Please come with HDMI out. I've been trying all kinds of ways to rig it and I can't pull it. So I haven't looked into that. But because the new GoPro 9 came out, I believe that there will be a new Osmo Action. So where we are with mirrorless at the moment, and the most common question over and over and over and over and over and over is what camera, what camera, what camera, what camera? Sony, 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 Sony. Diane won't let me post that in the moderator chat anymore, but get yourself a Sony. The Osmo Action, when it does release, and it has to be next month at the latest, will probably be the best sub $400 camera in the game for this type of stuff. The Osmo Action right now is already better than the GoPros. Even though they added the GoPro 9 and they updated some things for this particular task, I think Osmo Action is still better. So I'm very curious to see what the new Osmo Action 2 will do. So I would say wait for that. And so in the meantime, if you bought a brand new last month Samsung, or you're buying a brand new this month, next month iPhone, try using those as your main cameras. And again, I can do this real quick. If you go into Filmic Pro is my app of choice. I did a little test yesterday, goofing off with this stuff. Where is that? Here. Here's an old tripod. Let me grab it real quick. And I mean, yes, the Sony A6400 is bee's knees, okay? But for right now, I am assuming A6400 was February 28th of 2 years ago. The A6600 came out in February. So the new Sonys won't pop until February. I don't want you to wait that long. But every time new cameras come out, so the new Canons came out, that normally means that the cameras that are available become cheap because everybody wants to upgrade. You know what I'm saying? So in that particular situation, since new iPhones are coming out, I will tell you to wait. So here's something that you may or may not know about Filmic Pro. This is my iPhone. I'm running Filmic Pro right here. I am actually going to turn the tripod and face it towards me so that I can use the back camera. Filmic Pro has an application known as Filmic Pro Remote. So what that means is you can actually use your back camera as a sort of main camera and turn it to yourself so you can get the best quality and still be able to see what you're doing and make adjustments on the fly. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to take this other phone and open it. And yes, Filmic Pro, my brother asked the question, Filmic Pro does have clean, it's probably the best of the clean HDMI apps. Everyone keeps telling everybody to down Epic camera, Epoch camera, whatever. Rubbish. Rubbish. Do not buy that. Just get Filmic Pro. If you're not going to get Filmic Pro, the other one I would recommend, which I actually kind of like better for simplicity, but they're roughly the same. By the time you get Filmic Pro, the professional upgrade, and the remote, you come out to $30-ish. Re-incubate camo, also $30-ish. But it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, get that. Let me get rid of that. Bam. Let's see. What should I sell right now while I do this? Yes, there you go. I'll sell that while I do this. What I'm doing right now is I am connecting my remote to the Filmic Pro. Right? So you have to go into Filmic Pro and you know what? Let's do this. And get rid of dock. Okay, so this is the Filmic Pro app, and let me do that. So I have this popping up. Sorry, there's a Manchester game going on right now, so my friends are tweaking. You have to go to device and tell it to allow remote control. Okay, and then I'm going to take my camera. I got it exactly where I want it. That's all fine. Everything else is legit. So now I can turn it back to myself, and I can see that it's not exactly how I want it, but let's do that. And then, yes, it's hot, but we'll fix that later. And if I just tap it away and tap it away, boom, clean HDMI out. Hey, what are you doing? I said, go away. Okay, there we go. So that's clean HDMI out. Now, because it's slightly different than 16:9, I have to come over here and zoom and pan and then give myself a little bit of boom. Now, it's mad hot, but I can fix that because I have Filmic Pro Remote right here. So I'm going to click that, and then it says that I'm under remote control. So let's double this up real quick. Now, I can hold on to the reticle, and I can bring down some of that hotness, kind of get it similarly even, and set my focus to over there, and then bam. So no, at the end of the day, it's not completely. Oh yeah, I'll turn off the grid line later, Eric. Good answer. I didn't see that guide off. Why he not turn off the guide? Why? Turn on the torch. I don't want to move the other camera, but yes, I can go on the other camera and turn off the guide. It's so weird because the remote doesn't trigger the guide. It should, but it don't. This is what the remote app looks like. It basically looks the same as this camera would look if I'm facing the front, but you can do things like see yourself in focus, pay attention to that. You can see how hey, I just disconnected myself. You can see your manual hotspots. You know, you can see various things that you have set up, your zebras. It's all there. So yeah, this is a really good way to basically, man, would you guys stop talking? Okay, make sure you put your phone in do not disturb because they're telling me about the game that I don't want to know right now. So you could basically do what you're trying to do using Filmic Pro and not go and dump money into a new camera just yet. When the new iPhone comes out, this is the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and this camera is gorgeous. As you can see, it's not that, for streaming, it's not that far removed from the A6400. When I'm not streaming, though, it's a fantastic running around in the streets camera. So right now, if people are like, oh, should I get an M50? No, don't buy an M50 for streaming. You already got one, make it work. If you don't have one, don't buy an M50 for streaming. It just has too many things, too many hoops you have to jump through in order to make it work. So should you buy the brand new M50? Turns out, no. Even with the year to fix it, they still didn't do it, right? So at this point in time, it's called a reticle, not whatever you thought I said, minister. Eric said, do we need a second cam with the remote control? Is it usable with the computer? Unfortunately, right now, the remote only works with a second phone or iPad, not a second cam. But I knew what you meant. See, and then of course, he corrected himself. I always got to remember to read Eric's last comment. Instead of being the right one. And I do it myself, Eric, so I'm not making fun of you at all. Robert, good to see you here, buddy. And then he says, and June says, yes, if you got some old phones or iPods laying around, that's a good look. Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, you want to basically, for now, use a phone, right? And wait closer towards the end of the year before you think about jumping on any new camera equipment. That's what I wanted to tell you. That was the point of that experiment, is wait and see what the iPhone does. That's the answer. So yeah, or the brand new Samsung. I think both of those would be good options. And then other than that, yeah, just wait. So I will let you know second week of November when it finally comes in. We'll do the same test with the 12 Pro Max, and we'll probably spend a little bit more time on getting the picture to match this, because I think it can be matched. I think with a little tweaking and a little bit of using the app, should be able to get it to match. And now Eric has me just mad curious about the guide. If I got rid of it, if it worked then. And then so I can't help myself, because Eric and my friends are telling me what's going on in the game and I don't want to know. Stop talking. If you turn on do not delete on one phone, does it do it to all your phones? Not do not delete. Do not disturb. Oh, they're in VIP, so even do not disturb doesn't work. Okay. Hey, Prima. Yo, good to have you here. Okay, Eric, I couldn't help myself because of you. You forced me to fix it, so I did it. One thing I do know, I need a larger tripod for this guy. Oh my God, they're just going. All right, I'm going to click this on. So hopefully they don't say anything stupid while we are trying to focus this. Okay. There we go. Put it back on focus. Would you guys quit talking? All right. So yeah, there we go. I think it's, yeah. I mean, this is a Camlink 4K, under some really good conditions. I think I could get it very similar if I spent time messing with it, added a LUT, did some other things. I think I could pull it off. But yeah, I think we'll get it set up. We'll get it set up and we'll make that pop in. And of course, you guys are funny. I see all of you in there, from Prima on down to the rest of y'all, right? Just because I said I was going to run away because, of course, the Manchester game is going, you guys start asking questions. So just to show you exactly how much I love you, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to answer these questions. And if you know me, Manchester game, I'm like, oh, y'all need to go. But since y'all took time out of your day to come and watch your boy with the scream, I'm going to answer these questions real quick. So let stop saying anything that's going to sidetrack me, because I have to ask Prima first. Prima said, what phone you got? I'm going to get iPhone 12 Pro Max 512. That's Garen's, because that's the same as what this is, but just, the new. The straight iPhone 12 will do fantastic with this. The one that just came out, comes out Friday. I mean, it comes out, but will be in your hands on Friday. That will be perfectly fine in this particular studio situation. I'm very interested in stabilization for being outside and running gun, walking around. You got the new sensor, the way the sensor actually moves as opposed to the lens moving. So that I want. And then 65 millimeter wide. And yeah, that's crazy. So that's why I got to get the top notch joint, but it's going to be fun to do that. Crossfaders in the house. What's up? Good to see you here. Thank you again for the great content. What's up, PT? PT Wolo. In Wolo. Okay, here we go. This is one of my favorite questions, so let me help you. First of all, if you light right in front of you, not going to look good, especially as a dude. That's makeup lighting, not very flattering unless you are a stupid model, which I ain't. So I use 30 degrees off camera access shooting across my face. Hence, excuse my language. Hence, this side is bright well filled in. This side is getting reflection because the wall is white, but it's not too filled in. At the exact same axis, 30 degrees off to the corner, I have my ring light. You know what, Doc? That's what this cable is for. Why? Why you crazy, boy? Why you doing? Show the people. Blood clot. Press the button. Go like this. All right. All right. Show that there. Okay, so there's that guy, 24-inch dome on a basically super bright light. And again, there's my camera. That's basically 30 degrees off axis if I just bam. Over there is the ring. It's really far away and it's on dim, like almost ready to go off. That's how you make the internet fast, all of them cables. I need to bury them, but woo, too lazy. Okay, sorry. So that's the ring light. That's just doing a little bit of fill on the face, right? So that little tiny little bill on the face is coming from the ring light. And back there, oh my God, you guys shut up. Back there is my hair light. Even though I don't have hair, it's important to have a hair light. And then there's random turtles hanging off the ceiling, and then random troopers, and then my other camera, which is focused on the trooper at the moment. So yeah, that's a 3-light situation because you got to have 3 lights. But for the most part, I don't like straight face light. Number one, glasses, that big ring light look that people get in their eyes. It's supposed to be a specular highlight. It's not supposed to be a direct ring. Most people don't diffuse their rings. If you're going to cover your ring with like a white cloth and diffuse it so it doesn't have the hot spot, maybe that's acceptable. But I just don't think on dudes it's very flattering to have front-facing flat light. I prefer Rembrandt light. That's where I'm coming off at this angle, and it creates a little triangle under the face. Over this side, that's known as Rembrandt lighting. It's an artistic thing. That's how I do. I think it's the best way. The other situation would be way bigger overhead pointing down. It's still kind of butterfly / Rembrandt lighting. My C-stand's not tall enough, but I think I will switch it so that I can raise and lower the desk without having to change the light position. And yeah, I don't like the, I always put a hair light because even though you can barely see it, if you look at my hand, you can see it on the tips of my fingers up there. What the hair light does, it adds a little specular to the side of my hat, but it separates me from the background. Like it helps you see that there is 6 feet between me and Lord Vader back there. So that's the reason why I run a full 3-light setup. I was trained that way. You did the 5-second delay and it worked. Genius. I got to show you guys my delay trick that can help you get it solved. YouTube, and let's do that. I use Downy to download the video, but rather than play the video live, I will just show you what I use. And let's go to this guy here. Did I do it? Yeah, I did. All right, so here is the test. It says 30-minute clip. You can use this and search for a bunch of different ones. There's a whole bunch of them out there, but I like this one, so I'll just show you a quick little sample of what it looked like. Okay, so then what I do with this is I download this, and I either play it by my phone or play it by my iPad. So then what I'm able to do, because you can't really do it in YouTube, is I played this, I hold it up to my camera like this while I was talking. I saved that, I went into Final Cut or Premiere, anything you can where you can separate the audio and video. And then I just tap my arrow keys frame by frame until I got this guy right here, the diamond on the line, and it will say beep or boop, whichever. It doesn't really matter for what we're trying to do. And then so at that point, if the spike on the audio of your editing program, if the spikes don't line up, that tells you how far out your audio is. So by being able to separate the audio, like disconnect them from being a single file, which you can do in Final Cut, Premiere, some other programs, LumaFusion even, you can then move it back and count how many frames you have to move it. So in this particular case, with the cam links are very infamous for this. They're 3 to 4 out. So I found out that with the beta right now, before it was never an issue, but for some reason, something I added to my situation messed it up. It was allowing me to be basically 4 frames out. So by using this video with this audio of the beep, 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 I was able to figure out that I'm 4 frames out. And then you go on the Ecamm, you set it for 4 frames. Perfect. Done. Game's over. So make sure you're using the right one, though. In this particular one, I'm using a 1080 24p test. If you shoot at, say, 60 or 30, then do that. You can do 30. 30 or 60 are interchangeable. 24, 25, 50, also interchangeable. Doesn't really matter. There's a couple ones out there. I like this one. I don't know, I guess because I was raised on color bars. Here's another one. So there's a bunch. Just try them. I even found one that said it was like straight up Twitch. I don't know if that pops up here. This one's also good. I like this one. But yeah, I saw one that was like straight up Twitch. Like, oh, here we go. It helps you figure out audio delay. This is 60p, so this one will be wrong because of the frame rate that because of the frame rate that we're streaming at. This one will be wrong. But yeah, do yourself a favor. Go into the Tube of View. I did post one into the comments. Go in there and grab yourself one and then do that little test. So again, you download the clip however you download it. If you don't want to download it, you can just play it from your phone. But I think timing-wise, because the internet can do weird things, it's better if you actually download it to your phone. And then you like literally just hold it up to your face or hold it up in front of the camera so it's kind of blocking. Just make sure I have my camera on manual focus. Mine's not going to focus. But make sure you can see it. You might have to go in your video program and zoom in a little bit so you can get the timing straight. In your program, disconnect the audio, right? In Final Cut, right-click on the clip, detach audio, or Shift Option S. Detach the audio. Move the playhead until it's on the boop, which is the dead center, and then take your audio clip and move it forward or backwards. In Final Cut, it's period and comma. Move it forward and backwards until it lined up. Make sure you keep count of how many times you had to hit the arrow. That's the number you enter in the Ecamm. Mine was 4. Okay. I don't know what Lemuel is asking, but he said last slide on Ecamm, decrease the saturation, then slide it up to a bit of green. Oh, you're talking about my iPhone? It's possible. I would use vector scopes when I try to make them match. Yes, that was a live iPhone 11 Pro. Thanks, Prima. The video quality is pretty awesome at 4K. Check my email. Okay, I will do that. What's the last slider on Ecamm call? What you mean, what last slider? Okay, now he's messing with me. Andrew was popping. Where it was coming? 24. Okay. Boom, boom. Oh, my brother's going on about lighting philosophies. So you can see everything light so you have no shadows. Yeah. I'm in the light to purposely create shadows because it's more realistic. But, yeah, some people want to go studio light, like newscaster. You can't see nothing but face. How low can you go? Death row. What a brother. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to. I don't like newscaster lighting. I want it to literally look like there's some weird dude talking to me from the basement. So, yeah, I'm a weird dude talking to you from the basement. In an actual basement. Yes, the page size is 1920 by 1080, Andrew. Yeah, and I'm with you, Lim. No to flat lighting. I think Lim and I, and possibly June to, like, we're no to flat lighting because flat lighting, I mean, I guess from a photographer standpoint, flat lighting is boring. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. And, oh, you too. Lil and June are talking about the hair light. And then, of course, June's teasing me for not having any hair. Yep, 5 lights work. That was my little thing. Well, I forgot what special info. Didn't I tell you? What was the special info? Prima, put me in check. I forget. Bleep and blurp doesn't matter. Yes, it's the quote of the day. Yes, and Andrew says the Cam Link sync and shock thing. Actually, this was prior to the Rodecaster, but no, I would never run my Rodecaster straight to my camera. I believe on these small type of mirrorless cameras, and maybe this is just damage from DSLR days, the audio capabilities in all of these level cameras suck. I come from digital SDI and XLR built onto cameras days, and I would accept that. I don't trust the input on these cameras or their output or any cross-processing they might attempt to do. So I love to keep them separate. Now, another thing to your point, this always becomes a challenge because everyone wants to connect their Rode NT shotgun mic to the camera and stuff like that. Again, I grew up around broadcast stuff, so the audio in the camera are separate, bro. The Nagra on the neck, big recorder, or the field recorder, a set of cans, and a boom pole. The audio guy was always separate. You connect them in post. So I grew up in that philosophy. I'll keep it that way. It's also easier for me to sweeten my audio. When I do my videos, even for YouTube, I keep them separate and I sweeten my audio. Throw on a compressor, throw on a de-esser, throw on some EQ. Not in that order. It's NEC. Normalize, EQ, compress, normalize. That's my situation. I'll always follow it. But McLeod, you know nothing about some rude boy. You know what we're talking about, what are we talking about there? Sam, boy, Sam. Love you, Brian. He's going to be like, that was horrible. That was straight blood clot, horrible, boy. And it says, nice explanation. You know, you're the first person that asked that question. Oh my God, PT, I love you. Here's the answer. You're going to crack up. This is the answer. Get yourself a set of these, boy. Go on over there to the Amazon. Look up gray card set. Just Google it fast one time. Check the Jamaican market. You can buy gray card set. Use this. Stop guessing. Stop the auto. Auto is cute when you're 3 years old. We're not 3 years old anymore. Set it with a gray card set. $15 for a cheap one, $50 for a good one. Expodisc, the company Expodisc, makes the best in the industry as far as I know. My brother's probably going to tell me I'm stupid and have a better answer. But I think every person in this game should go get themselves an actual, factual, real deal gray card set. And I don't know why they call it that. It's dumb. They should call it something better. But here's a foldable one. I don't know if I trust that. That's too cheap. That was $7. I don't trust that. Here's the other thing that you can look at. Here's a G7 white balance pocket card. Let's get you over to Chiang. Boom, McLeod. Where the team go? All right. This is a G7 white balance card. This also works. And you know what? I meant to talk about this, so it's super funny that PT brought up this question because I had put this in my notes, and again, I left the notebook upstairs. I wanted to talk about using a target. For people that talk about, I have to be by myself and it's really hard to get my studio set up. You can get a target card, and I don't mean the red one. I mean something like this, where you basically take a broomstick, handle, umbrella, pipe, anything you have, stick it in your chair where your face would normally go, tape the sucker to it, and then you go on that side and you focus your camera, get your white balance set, do all of that stuff. This is a good thing, bro. It's $19. This is the foldable pop-up targets. So you just pull it out of a little bag, you hold it in front of your face, and then again, you get your camera set, you get your white balance set, and I don't know if I trust the $7.50 reference reflector, but it's probably better than auto. Even the cheap one probably better than auto. And then the real test, this is the money. Like if you want to be good with it, because you want to get picked up by a broadcast station, you get yourself an X-Rite. X-Rite will allow you to do color correcting. This is how you set your LUTs. There's a white balance card, a gray card, like it's all in there. So this is the real deal one. You can get the cheaper, just classic color checker, and you can white balance off of these, because the new ones, you don't necessarily have to zoom in. The new ones will let you tap. So you can say, I want to just tap this mid-tone gray right here, and that will get you set. So $79 will get you a classic. The new super sick one is $99. And then if you're really crazy and you're full on broadcast, like a milk in the movie film, like this is Borat subsequent movie film, then you need this one. But none of you guys are going to drop $370 for that. And June, if you have, but yeah, X-Rite is probably the best in the game. Expodisc, also very highly recommended. This is Expodisc. You actually put this on the front of your camera and you set it. You see how he do there? And you use that to set your white balance. These guys are really, really good, and it's $50. But if you just want to do it the cheap way, then just get yourself a gray card. Just go into Amazon, search up gray card, and the other one is Focus Target. There's things that you can do to print these out and make them yourself with a piece of paper. I ain't about that life. Data Color is the real guys. This seems to me that this JC company is coming in with the cheap stuff and trying to basically duplicate what Data Color is bringing you. But hey, at half the price, it might be worth the check. See, you know what I mean? You can always send it back. It's Amazon. These guys, this looks a little too messy. I don't know if I would trust this one, but yeah, here's a smaller, cheaper, basic color card. Again, if you want to be industry standard, you buy X-Rite. This might work though, and it looks like the backside of it is plain. So yeah, you know, decent little set. It'll get you there. But start using one of these will change your life. So number one, I appreciate you for having the wherewithal to ask such a fantastic question, PT, and that is the answer. Do Not Disturb does not work on that well because they're in the VIP section because they are Manchester United fans. It's our Manchester United support group of which I am one of the leaders. So not supporters club. Support group sound like we're sick. Sorry. All right, yes. We got to separate the audio from the video, even when recording. That's there. Yeah, that mini jack alone, yep. I'm never going to use that unless I have to. Yes, connecting the mic does limit the delay, but I can't do it. I mean, you're the audio file too, bro. I know you ain't doing that either, especially because I know you have one of these. Caster Pro. Yes, Expo is industry standard. 18% gray is white balanced light in the histogram with spike right in the middle. There you go. Last of light. Thank you, June. See, I swear I keep my brother around for some stuff. Some stuff. That's the. I was trying to remember that. They are distributed by Manfrotto. Last of light gray card. The man right there. Oh, there you go. Dare him. Not the one. They're going to tell you to go to B&H, but it's there. I did see another seller had it though. There you go. $51. Okay, this is super stupid. I want you guys to see the struggles that we have. Yes, we don't have snow. No, we don't buy coal for the winter. We have gorgeous weather year round except for the tsunami warning last night. But this item cannot be shipped to your selected delivery location. People, this is a piece of cloth that folds up like that window protector you folks use in the summer to keep the sun out of your car. And for some reason, Amazon won't ship it to Hawaii because it's dangerous. It's a piece of cloth, fam. It's super stupid. Anyway, let me pop this into the chat. If you watch the replay, I will not edit the timer on this video, so this will be in the chat. That is the one I was looking for, and my brother June comes to the rescue. So boom, there him. I'm gonna keep bringing it up until you guys press the like and subscribe and share. You know, Chris DeMarco, what's the biggest difference between cheap one and a good quality one? Two things I'm going to guess. This is pure, sophisticated, wild-ass guess, a.k.a. swag. Number one, just not of my nature to just always buy cheap stuff because it always bites you in the butt. This is not me. I tend to buy the real one or in the middle. If there's a big gap between the pro, quote-unquote, tried-and-true industry standard at, what was it, $99, and then the one that Amazon is selling with some no-name company at $7, I'm trying to find 50 because it's more logical or more reasonable. So where you could get yourself in trouble, Chris, is like Lemuel said earlier, and I don't like telling him that he's smart because he's my friend and my job is to harass him. 18% is normal white balance, and also known as a 50% gray card too. So, oh, actually, it says it right here on the page. Hold on one second, just so I can show you. I'm not tripping. I'm showing you that Lemuel's actually smart. It says right here, Lasted Light Easy Balance Collapsible, 18% gray, 20% white. That is the right answer. That's what you're looking for what cameras are looking for, because cameras are following somewhat of a standard. So if the cheap company got it printed somewhere whack, or they just thought, oh, this looks like the right gray, you're not getting a true white balance and you're still going to be off. And you will know if you were off if you have, okay, Final Cut Premiere, all these guys have a plugin made by a company called Crumple Pop and another company called FX Factory. No, that's not the right one. Pixel Film Studios. They have these auto white balance app. If you shot a picture, right, photo or video, and you use the cheap white card, and then the auto white balance app attempts to correct the white balance, your card lied because it shouldn't move if it was done correctly. And again, now, Chris, if you buy the cheap one, you can use the histogram on your camera because the histogram on your camera should be right, but it's just too many steps. The whole point of buying a $50 white card is you don't spend time in edit fixing it, because time in edit, whether you are doing it for yourself or doing it for someone else, the real answer for editing is roughly $150 an hour. Okay, you might do it cheaper for your friends and family, you might do it cheaper for yourself, but if you think in the level of what the industry would pay for that, then you realize how much time you're wasting, and it makes you not want to do these kind of crazy things. So yeah, I just wouldn't trust it, bro. Honestly, it's not worth that $40. Just get the Lasted Light one at 50. I can stand behind point blank, because that's what I learned from my dad over 20 plus years ago. And that's been the industry standard as far as I know. When we sold them at our store, we sold Lasted Light. I know that X-Rite is very good, and I know that Expodisc is very good. Any one of those is acceptable. Everything else, I'll be leery about it. Data Color is good too. They showed up in there, and it's only because Data Color sells the see, Chris, you messing me up, bro. let me show you this real quick. It's called the DATACOLORSPIDER. I think that's correct. Yes, so Data Color sells the Spider. Spider is you've seen this in pictures before. Maybe you never seen one in real life. But it allows you to clamp this sucker. It sucks to your monitor, and then you can set your monitor so that the color on your monitor is matching the color on your camera. Like studio photographers, when you go to, like, not Owen Mills, but you go to a real studio, this is how they get down. Like, if you're going to go get legacy portraits done by Lemuel, he's either using the Data Color Spider to calibrate his monitor or the other company X-Rite. And again, I used to do color calibration for printers. And I don't mean like the printer at your house. I mean the Heidelbergs. When you go to a print shop that makes calendars and business cards, I used to do their Mac Color Science and calibrate this company I used to work for. And we use something known as a gray tag Macbeth calibrator. And those suckers are crazy expensive. I don't even know if it's still in here. Hey, it's in here. Wow, Amazon. I wouldn't expect you to sell that because these suckers are crazy expensive. No, see, they just, the search term is in there, but they don't actually have the devices. A gray tag Macbeth colorimeter is about $15,000. But when you're a print shop, you want that. It has to be perfect because your customers are like hotels. The Hyatt will be mad if you print the wrong color. You know what I mean? The Hilton Hawaiian Village, that color salmon and that color turquoise have to be identical or they will just throw your job right out the window. So that's why color science is getting better, but it's not worth, go old school, get a color temperature meter and dial it in with the kelvins. Yes, also another good option, use a colorimeter. Not a color meter. Why did I say color meter? It's a colorimeter. Second Troy Gray made the gray cards. Yuck. That's funny. What about that 50 dude? What his name was? Christian. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no. I'm not going to allow you to get away with that. This is Let's Get Live. I'm not one of those other shows. Auto white balance is not acceptable. Able to print the six. There you go. See, he knows about the Macbeth. There you go. Yes. But the problem, again, with printing it yourself is your brother printer will give you a different color from your HP printer, will give you a different color from your Canon, will give you a different color from your Epson. Epson will be the most correct. So, yeah, it's better to just do it. Like, you guys, we had this talk on Linwell's video yesterday on his live stream. Shortcuts will bite you in the butt. Yes, Marshall is the team warm. I'm team cool. I tend to run my color temperature a little bit cooler. If you want to know what that looks like, I will show you. This is warm temperature. This is warm color temperature. This is cool Teletubby. Yeah. So warm Teletubby, cool Teletubby. I tend to run mine right here. I'm slightly on the cooler side for a caramelly complected type dude. Hey, thank you, Crossfader. I will check the email. Yeah, it's so dumb. How could you not deliver to Switzerland? Come on, son. Good knives, good chocolate, good watches. Lingenfeld tort, or however you're supposed to say that. Yes, Andrew, good point. You get what you pay for. And June, always get Linwell back to work. He's driving to his location. It's a good reference point. All right. I'm checking, I'm just reading. Great cards will get the best out of your LUT. That's true. Your LUTs will come out better. And the real lookup table. And the Last Delight one, I put it in the chat, PT, I think. Let me make sure I did that. I'll do it again just in case. But I also added to the description, and then I will straight tag you. Let me put that. Boom. Oh, I see, because I put it in the wrong chat because he was on the face space. So let me do this real quick. Facebook, come on. Do what I ask you to do. There you go. I got it. Yeah, man. There, them. All right. Because that Last Light one will definitely help you. Like, I know those are good. Okay. We're talking like color temperature teams. Yeah. Because my boy Marshall, he's on the team warm. I'm on the team cooler. I don't even know why. Maybe it's because I'm wearing a lot of blue or purple and then gray. It just looks better. When you get warm on gray, to me, it has a strange look to it. But yeah. All right, gang. That's it. We're going to see you Saturday. We're going to do it again. Don't forget, we do have the Beta Bunch stream coming up for you on Thursday. So stick around for that. But Saturday, here's the listy. We'll be here. Same bat time, same bat channel. Of course, I must always tell you that this was done using Ecamm. Make sure you get your Ecamm swag on. Go click those buttons. If you like to support the stream, like 80 Land, my girl, go over there and click on the Patreon or patron. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Swiss German. Go and do that. Give it a pop. It's docrock.live/Patreon. Of course, that is in the description. Also, if you're really trying to grow your step up and you want to get there, a lot easier. One of the best tools in the business. There's not some random cheat. These guys are YouTube certified, like they've been in the game forever. And honestly, what it comes down to is the way they collect the data and they analyze it for you and give you all of the tools for that right success. I know my girl Eileen was here earlier. She'll tell you, bro, there's nothing better than TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy will save your life. It is literally one of the best things I've ever done and absolutely, absolutely, absolutely love it. And then another thing you can do to step up your stream game is use Video Script Maker, docrock.live/Video Script Maker. As you can tell today, because I went all over the place, I didn't do it because I was busy tweaking out on my Rodecaster Pro, so I didn't do it. And so today's stream went like this. And normally it goes like this, right? The big difference in the, you know what I'm saying? So get yourself Video Script Maker, tie up them loose ends, make your stream look all the better. And then last but not least, the new word for today is twinkerer. For those of you who like to tweak and tinker, get it twisted. This is my new hashtag for Linwell and I, because we are always twinkering, trying to do stuff that Ecamm is not supposed to do. We're over here trying to make it happen. So there's the answer. If you like what you did see, don't forget to smash the like button, Facebook and Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, then you know when the new news is coming out. And other than that, folks, I shall see you again very soon. Peace, fa, sofu, aloha, maraming salamat po. Did I forget anything? Anyingi kesel.